Imagine a legendary investor who has built his empire by making careful, calculated moves. Now, picture him making a bold and surprising bet on a single company, pouring in hundreds of millions of dollars. What's driving this decision? Why is Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, doubling down on an oil company amidst a volatile market? Today, we dive deep into Buffett's latest significant investment in Occidental Petroleum, uncovering the reasons behind his big gamble and what it could mean for the future of oil. Plus, we'll show you how to uncover stocks that align with Buffett's timeless investing principles. Stick around, because this is a story you won't want to miss. So, Warren Buffett just filed 3 new Form 4s with the Securities and Exchange Commission. For 9 straight trading days, he's been acquiring millions of shares in one particular stock. We're talking about a little over $400 million invested into a company that he already owns a significant piece of, Occidental Petroleum. Buffett recently bought another 91,000 shares of Occidental Petroleum, and it's notable because significant changes in the Berkshire Hathaway portfolio are rare. Tens of billions of dollars invested into oil companies? That's a big deal for Buffett, who usually sticks with his top investments for the long haul. I've partnered with Stockopedia to share with you Buffett's rationale for betting big on oil and his specific reasoning for why he's loading up on Occidental Petroleum in 2024. Later in the video, I'll also show you how to filter the global equity markets to find businesses that align with Buffett's investing principles. Occidental Petroleum, or Oxy, is an American hydrocarbon and petrochemical company. Essentially, they're in the oil and gas business. The industry has 3 main types of companies: upstream producers who explore, develop, and produce oil, natural gas liquids, and natural gas; downstream producers who bring usable products to customers; and midstream operations which connect the two ends through storage and transportation. Since its inception in 1920, Oxy's primary business has been upstream production. In 2023, they sold 234 million barrels of oil, or 640,000 barrels a day, mostly from their U.S. sites in Texas, New Mexico, and Colorado, with some production in the Middle East and North Africa. Across these sites, Oxy has almost 2 billion barrels of proved reserves, meaning they're confident they can extract this oil. In the late 1960s, they also added the petrochemical business by acquiring the Hooker Chemical Company. Today, Oxy manufactures a variety of basic chemicals and vinyls, such as chlorine for water treatment and pharmaceuticals, potassium chemicals for fertilizers, and PVC piping for construction. Oxy also has a midstream operations business, which includes transporting and storing services. On Stockopedia, we can look at Occidental Petroleum's financials. They produced $28 billion in revenue in 2023, a 23% decrease from the year before. Their profits also fell considerably to under $5 billion, primarily due to a single factor: the price of oil. WTI crude oil, which comes from U.S. fields, decreased 18% to just under $78 per barrel. Brent crude oil, representing 80% of global crude contracts, also fell significantly. The price of oil is extremely volatile, and has been especially so in recent years. During the financial crisis in 2008, WTI crude was over $130 a barrel but dropped to under $40 by early 2009. During the 2020 pandemic, oil prices even went negative as demand plummeted and storage costs soared. So, Occidental Petroleum is vulnerable to these wild swings in oil prices. But in 2019, Warren Buffett saw potential. Reuters reported that Buffett made a $10 billion private stock deal with Oxy to help fund their acquisition of Anadarko Petroleum. He received 100,000 preferred shares in Oxy that paid an 8% dividend annually, and warrants to buy up to 83.9 million shares for $5 billion. Warrants are like call options, giving Buffett the option to buy shares for around $60 each, but unlike call options between traders, warrants are a deal with the company itself. If Buffett exercises these warrants, Oxy creates new shares and issues them to him. Buffett bought about 19 million shares on the open market in late 2019, a stake worth $760 million by the year's end. Unfortunately, the timing was off as the pandemic soon crushed Oxy's stock by about 75%. In the second quarter of 2020, he sold all 18.9 million shares at a significant loss, but kept his preferred stock, which paid him about $800 million a year. Due to Oxy's poor cash situation, they paid his dividend entirely in stock, giving him 17.3 million shares in Q1 and another 11.6 million in Q2. Buffett stayed away from investing more in Occidental until 2022, when he started buying up shares again. Stockopedia's director dealings page shows all insider transactions, including Buffett's. Berkshire Hathaway bought 124.5 million shares in the first 3 weeks of March 2022, then another 65 million shares, bringing his ownership in Oxy to almost 21%. By August 2022, he got regulatory approval to buy up to 50% of the company and didn't waste time, purchasing another 17 million shares in March 2023, 12.5 million in May and June, and finally 23.9 million between October 2023 and February 2024. Now let's look at Stockopedia's major shareholders tab. Buffett's ownership stands at 28% of the company, with over 255 million shares worth over $16 billion and about $8.5 billion of the preferred shares. Occidental Petroleum is now Warren Buffett's sixth biggest position. Buffett's large investments in Occidental Petroleum and Chevron will largely depend on oil prices over the next decade or two. While he can't predict oil prices exactly, he believes there's a strong chance they will be higher in the long term. Oil demand has been steadily growing and is expected to near 105 million barrels a day this year. Though there's a push towards more environmentally friendly options, moving away from fossil fuels in sectors like overseas transportation and industrial use is far off. Most oil companies aren't increasing production, as it would hurt all companies by lowering prices. Despite not having a full picture of supply and demand factors, Buffett sees enough signs for higher prices being highly probable. The late Charlie Munger also noted at the 2023 shareholder meeting that there's a lot of currently unrecoverable oil that might become accessible by Oxy in the future. In the meantime, Oxy is generating a lot of free cash flow. Stockopedia shows their price to free cash flow is just 11.4, producing more than $6 billion in excess cash last year, with almost $5 billion distributed to shareholders as dividends and share repurchases. Adding to the 8% preferred dividend from his preferred stock, Buffett is quickly getting a return on his initial investment. Financially, Oxy scores well on Stockopedia's health trend scale, which helps limit exposure to potential losses. They also score reasonably on the bankruptcy risk scale and show little evidence of earnings manipulation, crucial for Buffett. Stockopedia's stock rank system ranks stocks based on quality, value, and momentum, making it easy to compare companies to industry peers and the broader market. Beyond oil price dynamics, Buffett invests in businesses with excellent management teams. He often assesses management by reading annual reports and looking for CEOs who talk transparently about their business. In Oxy's case, CEO Vicki Hollub impressed Buffett with her straightforwardness. While Buffett's investments are fascinating, remember that the scale he operates at means he invests in companies that smaller investors might not. This means there are many more opportunities for us to invest in good companies at reasonable prices that Buffett can't touch due to his scale. Using Stockopedia's screeners, you can filter for companies meeting Buffett's principles. The Buffett Historical Growth Screener filters by metrics like return on capital employed, consistent profit growth, and low debt, identifying 168 stocks across global markets, including Accenture in the US, L'Oréal in France, and Games Workshop in the UK. Stockopedia tracks over 35,000 stocks globally, making it a valuable resource for stock pickers. If you're interested in signing up, you can select a plan that allows access to multiple markets. Use the link below and the discount code HH20 to get 20% off any annual plan. There's also a 14-day free trial to see if the platform brings value to your investment research. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. As we've seen, Warren Buffett's massive investment in Occidental Petroleum isn't just a bet on oil. It's a testament to his belief in the company's long-term potential and strategic management. Whether oil prices soar or dip, Buffett's calculated risk offers us all a lesson in seizing opportunities and staying true to sound investment principles. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into one of the most intriguing moves in the investment world. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more insightful content, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, happy investing.